Guys, welcome back to another gameplay review. It's Spicy Tuna Roll here, and today we have a submission from Jack RR, otherwise known as Riley in game, and we're reviewing his Dekker gameplay with his team. He actually got paired up against Team Faded in a five stack, so kind of like an unofficial scrim here, but I got some notes we're gonna go through here, and we're gonna get started. I'm gonna pause here. I like this actually. So the first buy is usually really important, and I've seen a lot of different players who take items that are generally good. Like for instance, this Vitality beat from Rampage, totally fine. Jungler wants to be healthy. Whole shit's based around him gaining health and his max health and all that. If you're playing support, especially an Enchantress support, then you really want Energy Stream, so you can stay in lane longer and keep getting your abilities off. It is super crucial that you take that. I think it's probably the best start for a support, especially if you're playing like Dekker, Narbash, maybe not Richter per se, but maybe because of the recent nerfs probably. But in general, mana is gonna be super vital for you early as a support, so you can get your main abilities off and kind of keep up pressure in the lane, which is pretty much your job.
Oh my god, we're facing TF! Oh, this is the test. This is the test.
Yeah, unofficial scrim. They get hype. I love this. I also love they're not backing down. They're just like, oh yeah, another team? Hell yeah! They start going for it. It's funny as shit. Alright, so we're going to stop here. This is a very defensive position, and I like it a lot in terms of anticipating an invade. When you have a Richter on the enemy team, a Rampage, a Crunch rather, this kind of like a more of aggressive comp, you can always usually expect one of them to peek around and try getting some early CC, early pick, whatever, because you know Richter's going to start pool. If he doesn't start pool as a support, he's probably not playing it right, to be completely honest. While this is good, you can actually position farther up. I would love to see Dekker take, I'm going to call this long pillar, I'm going to call this short pillar. I love Dekker to take long pillar, or rather, vice versa, Dekker takes short pillar and Sparrow stay here, and that you can peek around the corner and see them, and if you see them, just back away, just leave. That's information well gathered. That's really all you need to gather for that, and then communicating that to your jungler. I think it's a super great idea. A little defensive for my taste, but again, it's not bad. It just, I would prefer to shift her up a little bit and peek. But this also gives you a great line of sight either way. Like, no fault here, just a different idea to explore. Right here, where they're discussing tactics, the guy, well, they're strong, I like this, I like that. That is so cool. I love seeing that from a team, especially established teams. Getting the game, they're already in the game, right? This first minute and a half before minions get to lane is super important, and I love that they're discussing what's going on. Yep, moving forward, totally fine. You'll actually notice if you watch the minimap, Rampage put a ward on his blue, backed, got sentry, and is going to his red now. This is a really nice tactic. We actually do it in League of Legends a lot, where the jungler puts down a ward, goes back, gets a sweeper, sentry, whatever you want to call it, to clear out vision. As a jungler, you really want sentry. It helps you just de-ward, establish your vision control for objectives, and help like ease your lane ganks. Phenomenal time. That's amazing. I love that. So again, just discussing like, hey, remember what we talked about in practice. We need to do this. If we see this go down, we have to initiate on here. We can punish him for this. That is such a great attitude to have. A lot of people who go up against teams that are established in pubs and pugs and scrims and tournament sometimes get nervous, like, oh god, like they have a good team, they're good players, we know them. Like, shut up, turn off the nameplates, focus on what you can do. Right? They establish that Richter's hook, once it's down, you can punish him for it. Right? The punish is going to come from Dekker stepping to the side, dodging it, throwing her stun, and then them trading damage onto them. That's a really good trade pattern to establish. Right? So they've established, oh, this triangle of playing and what to play around. Awesome job. I love seeing this. Yep, good poke. Pretty basic, I like it. For those of you who are newer to this game, and when you auto-attack an enemy champion or enemy hero, the minions begin to come towards you. This is called pulling the wave, and it's super. I love doing this, especially when I play Muriel. If I send out an ability or an auto, damage them, and they come at me, I then pull the wave back to me, so they have to overextend. I'm not sure if he did this intentionally here. Maybe he did. I love Jack. He's pretty decent in the game, and every time I see him, he's improving, so, like, I have no doubt that this is intentional. Just food for thought for you guys if you're trying to establish ways to get better control and positioning in lane. Good strat talk from the jungler. I love it. So this is the start of something I don't really like. In fact, I'll actually let it play a little bit longer. Autos, pulls the wave, good. Right here. So, right now, what's happening in this lane is the wave is pushing towards Dekker. She is now positioned herself in this corner. When you do this, you are limiting your mobility and your movement. You should never stand in this corner, especially as someone who's squishy. Yes, Dekker has her jump. Yeah, she can throw a preemptive stun. The problem is the stun lasts about a second point two, I think, somewhere in there. And in that second point two, you still have to move to the left. Richter's going to be able to pull you into his wave, which is bigger than yours. We know that because he's pushing it, they're autoing it, so you're losing more minions than they are, right? So this is a super bad position. They're level 2, so she pulls out a little bit. Good, she moves away from that spot. Honestly, if I'm the Richter there, I'm pissed at the Richter and Drongo because they should be modern. Oh, we're almost level 2. She's in a bad position. If Richter walks up as they get level 2, he pulls, silences, and then that's a kill. Right, that's super poor on Drongo and Richter for not doing that. Cage, I like Cage. I think Cage is a better second start than her laser. So we have, I want you guys to pay attention to this part right here. In the comms, they said he's going left. We know Rampage is left side now. Track that. Yep. Yep. Bouldered. Okay. If Richter was good, he would have pulled Dekker, either forced a blink or gotten a kill. Because if he pulls him, he silences, Drongo then gas grenades, all while autoing in rat rounds and boomerang. They just get the kill. Or a blink, at the very least. But Richter just messed up and didn't pull, right? We know Rampage is left side. There are no wards here. Yes, the boulder was lobbed from deep. As a support, your job, one of your main jobs, is going to be jungle tracking for your AD carry. The only job the AD carry has early game is the wave. He farms. They can, even if they're good enough, they can determine what they want to push or let it push or freeze or whatever they want to do. Your job is to jungle track, place wards, and set up your AD carry. That is the only thing you should do as a support in the early game. Those 3 things. Especially if you're brand new. You need to learn how to jungle track. because if they know he's there or know he's in the area, she can position to the other side of the lane and make that hook even harder to hit. They have to respect them, especially because they know it's a 5-stack, especially because they know it's a team. They have to respect that potential gank. And the fact that they don't almost cost them a blink, which is a crucial ability, or gold. So,
Yes.
Richter just looking at his the rampage like, sorry. That's funny. They're wrapping around. Yeah, they're gonna go gold, it looks like here. Again, positioning against this outcropping. Really bad. I hate it. Richter, if he had any amount of confidence, would have walked up and tried to pull her. Or corner her there. By the way, I hope we're still jungle tracking here, guys, because we don't know where Rampage is. There's no vision in the river. We have these two guys headed over, but they're pretty far away, about 5 to 7 seconds away. And in a MOBA, that is a lot of time. Rampage shows. The second Rampage shows, they have to leave. They stay here and they contest this. And this is bad. You have to draw him out so then he can overextend, and these guys, your mid laner and jungle, can collapse. Give up the gold. The gold is not gospel. We don't need it. That's a waste of abilities. You're dead. This is why jungle tracking is so important. This is why you need to pay attention. This is exactly what went wrong. Now you're back with 540 gold. Not enough to get your braid. You've given free gold and experience to the enemy team, especially the Drongo, who's going to hyperscale no matter what you do. This is such a bad misplay. There's so many small things that should be punished here in the laning phase that are not being punished. And if TF punishes it, they get even further ahead than just that one kill. Yeah. Now, Rampage comes in. They get a trade, I think, here? I want to say they do. I want to say it's close, at least. A lot of blinks happening. 5 or 6 blinks for this. They get 2 kills, I think. No, just 1. It's a 1-for-1. Support for support. Not the worst in the world. At the same time, though, it could have been a lot cleaner. And Dekker just did not need to die. So... We've got 3 camp, kind of autos it, gets her support stack. Sure, whatever.
I don't have Wood Sparrows.
I was gonna say something, but I was wrong. So. Love that. Love the discussion. Play safe. There's no objective we can fight over right now. We have Fanged coming up, but like we don't need to fight right now. Great. Love it. Don't fight without objectives. If you fight without objectives, I will haunt you. Stop it. If you see me looking down, by the way, I've got notes I took up. This is the 3rd time I've seen this video. Like, I wrote a bunch of notes down for it. Things I want to touch on. For those of you who are watching this who are in competitive, this is for more the, again, competitive players who want to do tournaments, want to go big and all that. Establishing names for things are on the map are incredible. So their steps, our steps, right? That doesn't quite, it causes a little bit of confusion there. And that's not to say that this is like the end all be all. This is just something for a more advanced player and more advanced team to think of. As you're playing this, establish names. So I said long pillar, short pillar before at the beginning of the video. Our steps, their steps, Fang steps, things like that. I know my team calls like the buffs, like you have blue buff, then we have 1 and 2, or 1 and 2, 2 on the outside, 1 on the inside. So L1, L2, R1, R2. Right when we're doing calls, like, oh, Rampage spot at L1. Short, concise, we all know the code. It all works. So think of something like that if you're competitive and you're in kind of the upper echelon of these players. It's something that'll help you in the long run, especially with efficiency. Positions against this kind of veil a little bit. Again, not quite in the bad position I don't like, but... yeah.
Dual lanes rotating towards me.
Good communication. Pretty clear comms too. Honestly, I like it.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it.
The calls for Fang. Go for it. I love it. They got it. Sure. Back away. This is before the Fang changes, by the way. This is like the day before that the last patch went through. So there is no Primal. And some of the other character nerfs have not gone through yet. So if you see some decisions based on that, that's why. I'm just getting a little late to reviewing this video. Richter's mid, called mid. Good. Missed a hook. Good. I love wording steps. I actually like placing it. If I can go back 10 seconds. I'll pause it real quick and show you. Peeking. I like placing it right before steps because you get the entirety of this river section. Like right on the inside corner or right around the edge here. One around these corners I usually like to do. Probably the far corner, I would say. Because it gives you a better heads up. I like this, but if he walks through here, close side of this wall, it misses him. Watch. Right. Perfect. If he walks right through here, the ward doesn't pick him up. So you want it in the river to cover the entirety. Yeah, sure, they can come through Fang, but if they don't know it's, or Fang, I'm going to call this like Fang Alley for right now. Just when they come through Fang Alley here, they could bypass it at the same time. That's why you ward here. You have the 80 carry ward, I call it Tri Junction, Tri. Ward Tri here, and then you're completely covered. Good calls. I don't like this right here, so I'm not even going to pause it. We spend a good 30, 50 seconds. They place a single ward, which isn't a very effective ward. Effective ward. And he does nothing. So now he's missing experience potentially. And they also didn't shove the wave and have it crash. They could have actually had the wave crash earlier and reduce the amount of gold and experience received by the enemy team. Or push it harder to get that done. The problem with this now is it caused this really weird break in tempo for them, where Dekker's kind of just sitting around in the jungle. And sure, right, there's nothing they can really take. They only have one word. At the same time, in this moment, you're not there. You can go commit a little bit to mid, maybe throw a stun, force a blink, right? Communicate those ideas, but wasting time like this is super bad, super inefficient. Not really a punish for it, just the consequences themselves are natural. So dual lane swapped. Usually people swap dual lane and off lane for pressure on objectives, which is not a bad idea. They do it in League of Legends a lot. I don't know if they do it in Dota. I don't know exactly how Dota's set up. But that's not a bad concept. It has to be worked on well. Right, so if they go in and commit to this mini and get it for the pressure, awesome. Then swap back or whatever. But swapping around lanes is not necessarily bad. I would like to see them get a little bit more aggressive here and poke him out because you have the range advantage. And if he dashes in, cage, stun, walk away, you can jump. Right, you've got a Sparrow slow as well. Like, there are ways to get away. There are ways to get through this. Not a bad idea. Not great. From either side, to be honest. Yeah, so they're good. They're committing to mini prime. That's awesome. And that's what I wanted to see. They cleared it fast because they have a Drongo there with his rad rounds. So, yep, they do get a kill. I don't know who got the mini here. But if Drongo had killed it, see, that's good. That's a good punish. They were low from the mini, and they played around that. So, and they got Rampage. Yeah, 3 for 1. That is a phenomenal punish, right? And that's the iffy side of doing some objectives in this game is you get really low playing objectives. Now you lose waves. Now you lose pressure. Now you lose the tempo you got. The only 3 that were there were Rampage, Richter, Drongo, and they all died. Dekker asking who got Prime is awesome. I like that. Like, who got Prime? Did we get the Prime off the map? That's a good thing to play around and ask. Great information. I think he places a ward here. He's got a ward. He's sitting on a ward, but... So he's looking to gank his own lane right now. Call's going down to gank. I love this gank. I missed You can actually stagger this. Like, this is a great job. Great CC, great gank. You could actually stagger it a little better. It's like it's not like it's a little over a full second for the boulder stun. I think it depends on distance traveled, and then that give it a click and then throw your stun. You actually stun them a little bit longer. It's clean. They get it anyway. It's not like nothing against them. A way to make it better. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. Try and go 6. Getting a little aggressive there, but it's fine. Rampage. Boulder's incoming. Oh, they're not. He's just saying. He's not even bother throwing a boulder. Okay. Usually when I see a Rampage step up. Usually when I see a Rampage step up like that, you just expect a boulder to hit me in the back of the skull. Again, that same spot on the stairs, I don't necessarily like. Not my favorite, but good. We're going to lane gank, gets the stun. He has no blink, I think. So just some harass. Not bad, though. I think Sparrow had to back. Yeah, he's backing. Not bad. Pressure, being annoying. Not bad. You've got 2 energy streams and a braid, so your mana is not going to take too big of a hit for this. Yep, position super far back. Yeah, guys, if you're AD carry backs and you don't have to, and it's kind of a waste of time for you to, stay there. Stay there and stay back a little bit so you don't softening the wave, holding it. Good, he's kiting the wave out for his AD carry so it doesn't crash. Kiting out and pulling the wave, like we said earlier, is when you just draw the aggro for it. He's taking a lot of damage, but he's got 2 pots. Sparrow's coming back, so it doesn't hit the tower, so Sparrow doesn't lose mana experience. Not bad. Good rotation out from the Richter. I liked that. I thought you knew. So I touch on that. Communication's absolutely key. They've been having good communication until now. I thought you knew. Not good enough. Don't position against that outcropping. He keeps backing up. Taking height's fine. Taking height, playing with height is okay. Just not when you're in the corner there. That's not what you want. Yeah. He's going to walk up. He has no 6, though, so I don't really know what he's doing. He's caged. Yeah, this is super troll from Corpse. Drago dies here, I think. Close. He gets pulled. Okay. I don't know why he's surprised here. Oh, what? You know, you haven't seen the hook come out yet. The hook only has a 10-second cooldown at this point. If you ever turn your back on a hard CC here like this, you deserve to get pulled and beaten. Like, he's going to die here for this, obviously. But, like, he played this so poorly. You move the same speed going forward as you do backpedaling. The only time you slow down is when you cast an ability. And even sometimes not even then. Or when you auto attack. Right? So keep your eyes on him so you can dodge the hook. You don't need to turn around. That is a great punish from Corpse. He does a great job. Essence Ring. So with the latest patch, I actually like going Divine Wreath from Wellspring if you have a heal shield champion for that extra power. But because it's Dekker with no shields, this is totally fine. Just a little tidbit about supports in general that I like. But Essence Ring is great. I fucking love Essence Ring. Good adjustments coming in. Like, all right, we can now prep this. Like, he's not even worried about it anymore. He's dropped the death. It's fine. Whatever. Move on. I love it. Love the mentality. That's something you'll see a lot of like high elo players struggle with, mentality. Where a lot of these, I like to call them like ego YouTubers and streamers. Where I love it. Such a beautiful stun. Struggle like, oh, they make a mistake and they get tilted. They either tilt at their teammates or they tilt at their themselves or whatnot. Like, well, I'm playing perfectly, whatever. Like, he dropped a death. Went, all right, fine, whatever the fuck, and moved on. Went mid and got a kill on Faye, and now they have pressure for Fangtooth, and this is awesome. This is such a great adjustment. Now, your mentality is going to affect a lot in these games, especially if you're playing competitive tournaments and shit. Like, this is what you want. This could, like, all right, moving on. All right, now I think they actually collapse on duo here, which is awesome. They leave the jungler to finish that. They're going to take the Gideon portal, the enemy jungle we saw right behind him there for a second. Stuns the Richter so he can't do anything. Walled him. Good, the ulti down. This is so clean. I love this. Maybe he lands the stun a little bit better, but they punish the positioning here phenomenally. If you know the enemy team is on Fangtooth and you are still pushing up like that, you are trolling. You are inting your game. You know they're there, just leave. You don't know how many are going to come get you. You don't know if any are going to come get you. go back, place a ward, wait for the information, and then proceed if you want to. But pushing forward like that is super, super troll. Sitting at 1.3, she's back soon. Usually if I'm sitting around 1.2, 1.3k gold, I typically try and back. They don't really have to. They're both really healthy. They have all the resources. Crest is up. I actually really like when I have Crest is ready, not going back immediately because I still get the procs. You still get the little bubbles that swirl around you as the support. So you can get extra gold. You can get like an extra 75 to 100 gold, and that is so useful. It is such a good thing to do. Looking at the mini map, it looks like Richter's a little close. Again, I hate when people turn their backs on Richters and Rampages and Steels and like all these heavy CC support, or not even supports, heavy CC heroes. This is fine. I actually don't think he gets punished for this, which he really shouldn't, because they're both super healthy. Sparrow's 2 levels up. Like, there's nothing really to punish here. It's just a bad habit to me. But it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter here. So it's fine. Me just being finicky and anal retentive. What the fuck? What the fuck? I love it. I think Marshall first item after the braid is a great idea. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Requiem was great. Nothing wrong with the build here. There's probably better things you can go. I don't play Dekker too often. I'm a filthy Muriel main, especially after that last buff. I get to play my girl again. But I like this build. I love Requiem as an item. Good. Jumping up, using their ability passive, stunning, cage, stun. Oh, this is so beautiful. Forces a blink. I think someone gets pulled here, if I remember correctly. Let me check my notes. Stun. Nice boulder from the Rampage. Good. I love this. He has Silentium. He's watching for the engage. Usually I like Silentium into Gideon and not much else. But it's so useful in general, especially you have a Rampage, you have a jungler, because you silence them, they can't use their smite if I remember correctly either. So it's a really, really cool thing. Really beautiful. I love this communication. Turns the back. I think he gets... Yeah. So you place a word. We have the word right off to the side here. Pause. Nothing on the map. Sure, 2v1. Stop. I hope you guys see what's wrong with this picture. Because he's coming in here. So what I would do, as a suggestion, I would start to shift over to the right side of this lane, go around towards Cyan buff. I would try and cage off the Rampage, so he has to burn an extra ability to jump. You have your double jump and your blink. I would, or even just put your cage off to the left, so you cage off the entrance, double jump, and at the peak of your double jump, blink out, so there's no way in hell they can catch you. He doesn't do that, by the way. Spoiler alert. His back's to Rampage, gets domed, pulled. I think does he get ulti? It's silenced, stunned, caged, fine cage, but he gets ulted. Right. So if you pay attention to the word you just placed down, you gotta react a little bit faster. It's a ulti. Yeah. If you're Gideon and you ulti that low, you're not. That's not a good ulti. Like, it's not. Especially when they have so much hard CC there. Fly trap out, he dies. Yeah, I mean, this is a misuse of resources. I don't think you even need to commit for the kills. There's no objective to fight over. You don't have mini, Fang's not up. There's no one's placing vision down. There's just so many things wrong with these fights that you don't need to fight here. Right? Feng Mao rather, apparently tried to fist fight the dual lane and lost, but there's nothing to fight over. Why are you fighting? Why are you there? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all to me. Ooh. Yeah. Don't fight over things you need to fight over. It's 1v2. I don't care how far ahead you are. 1v2 can still be pretty fucking difficult. Especially in this game. Especially into a Durango that is just hyper scaling. So don't position up like that. Just catch the wave, leave, catch the wave, leave. Just rotate through. At this point, they should just be looking to get vision down and farm.
He's a Gary, dude.
I need gold too. The fucking struggle. Holy shit. Love that word. Much better. Covers the entirety of that river. Excuse me. Fight coming out here. Rampage a little cornered into this crunch. Love the stun. Great. Beautiful. Love it. Let's Fang is up in 20. Let's set vision. Phenomenal call out here from the jungler, I think. I think it was the jungler. I don't know their voices too well. Honestly, I think you should be setting up for about 45 seconds ahead of an objective, a major objective, I want to call them. Like Orb, like Fangtooth. I think you need 45 seconds-ish, maybe a minute, to really fully prep and get ready and set up these objectives. 20 seconds, you know what? They just notice, oh yeah, we gotta go to Fangtooth. Sure. Whatever. I would work on that though. Super low ulti, super bad, stunned. So right here, we're gonna back up. This is a cool little tech here with Dekker. Pause. You can hit Faye from here. You can absolutely hit Faye. Your stun bounces. Bounce it off this far pillar. If you take a few steps to the left, or right rather, right, and then you bounce it off here, it hits her. Right, bounce it right around where this dash mark is. This little, I don't know if you guys can see it in the video, but there's like a little crack here in the pillar. Right around there, from over on the right side, you're gonna bounce and hit her. She gets stunned and takes a shit ton of damage from Gideon. I also don't know why Gideon's going in here. Faye is 3 levels up on him. This is incredibly cocky. Yeah, you have your team here, but like, this is such a large distance to cover. Where like, if you do it, Jack or Riley did here, you're probably gonna die. Because they didn't throw it distance. Yeah. It's 2 seconds trying. You can bounce that. Fly trap comes out. You get stunned by the enemy rampage. That's the other thing. People in the chat who are just like, oh well, like there's teams there. Well, duo is here. Your carry's not here. You know rampage is in here. You know rampage is here. You've seen him. Faye, you have got to stun right here. You've got to stun right here, and then turn. Fly trap. They both die here. I'm pretty sure they were there. Oh, he does blink out. Never mind. They get the stun. This ends up going pretty well for them, despite the really piss poor setup. Sparrow takes height. I love that. Stun comes out, hits the stun, stops the boulder. Stopping that boulder was clutch. I will give him that. Richter burns his ulti. Another part of your... I know we talked about the job of the support earlier on in this video. When it comes to just like tracking jungle, placing wards, positioning to set up your AD carry. Another thing you want to do is track cooldowns. And this is a bit harder to do until you know the game better, until you're more advanced. This is the basics of, all right, not rampage. Well, I guess rampage, but in this case, Richter ulti down. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. 1 second. Alright. Richter ulti down. They should know, it's about a minute and a half, somewhere in there. I don't know if he's... I can't hit tab for him to see what items he has. If he has ability haste, then it's probably like closer to a minute 10. Right? But tracking that's also super important, because after this, you have about a minute 40 until... or minute 30, I guess, till Orb is up. So, that's the next objective after that. Gideon's got a back, sure, answer right lane. Push mid, good. That's a great call. I love it. Good. I love the call, by the way. At 18 minutes, you definitely should have the tier 1s down. You have no tier 1s. They have all your tier 1s. This is pretty bad in terms of map pressure. Taking the what's it called? The mid tier one is super imperative in a game, especially in a competitive game. This isn't super competitive. This is pubs. This is two teams 5-stacking and happy to play each other. Great, awesome, whatever. It's still not really an excuse. These should have been down around 12, 13 minutes with proper pressure put in. I get it. There's a lot of chaos happening. People are running around. People are kind of doing all that. Taking these creates more pressure for your river buffs, for your major objectives, and all that. So really, you really want to focus on getting these tier 1s. Oh, there we go. So we got Requiem, not Requiem. We got Braid. We got Marshall. It looks like he's building a Dynamo. I do love Dynamo. Yeah, he's building Dynamo. Dynamo is a great item. It's immobilizing an enemy. In fact, you know, I'll pull it up here. I'll read it for you guys. Immobilizing an enemy deals 30 plus 4% maximum health bonus magical damage to the target and nearby enemies. So nice little AoE, little splash damage. And your enemies shredding their physical armor and magical armor by 30% for 4 seconds. Damage is increased by 200% against monsters with a 12-second cooldown. For 2,800 gold, that is phenomenal. He is so good for getting this item. I do love this. Itemization, I'm liking it in this game. I really am. I think it's a pretty good job. It could be a little bit more. I would say maybe a Tainted should be in the cards here too at some point. Someone needs to get anti-heal for the what's his name? Rampage. But Rampage also isn't doing the super greatest. If he comes over here again, I could see a tab. Ooh. I don't know why it does that. There you go. Wards, yeah, I love warding there. Maybe ward a little bit further back, like on the top ledge. Oh, if I can go back a couple frames. Like on this top ledge here, gives you a bit fuller of a picture, but it's not. I think it's a great ward in general. I love those entrances. Warding entrances is such a crucial thing, right? 2 more visions, good. Wards river where we're supposed to, love it. Sees Richter Rampage, gets good information. They're gonna clear that, but he can place another. Oh, all right. They're calling to go on the so they're divided here. This is so divisive here. This is the importance, where the importance rather, of a in-game caller, an in-game lead, which is otherwise known as the IGL, comes in handy, right? Let's say it's the Gideon, not the Gideon, the Juggle the Rampage or the Dekker, right? Go, hey, turn on Faye. The team should just turn on Faye. It doesn't matter if it's the right call or not, right? Cutting down the confusion is going to help a shit ton, right? You don't want the divisive call here where you have Rampage, who committed to mid, is now about to die 2v1, or at least I don't know if he dies here or not, but turning them is fine. Turning on either one is okay. I don't care what you do, but whoever makes that call, whoever's the IGL, needs to be listened to. You can review later if it was a good call or a bad call, right? Being an IGL is tough and it takes a lot of time, so they're going to make mistakes. Whatever the call is, though, it needs to be followed. When you divide the team like this, you're dividing your efficiency. I don't even think they catch them here. All right, and the Rampage didn't die, so that's good. He got lucky. Or they just couldn't kill him. I don't really know which, to be honest. Crunch is split pushing. Love this from Crunch. So if you guys ward right here, right inside the corner, a lot of time, more inexperienced players will miss it when they go to, like, sweep. They just won't turn and look at their ankle, look where the corner is, and you'll be able to get vision there without it being cleared. Little fun warding tip for you guys. Good stun. No follow-up, though. Gideon now can follow up. Stun. Got bouldered out of it. Jumps in. That was so goddamn aggressive. Cages his own. Okay. Yeah, it's a 2-for-1. Not worth it. 3-for-1 out here in a second. Blinks. Oh, okay. He does miss the boulder. Or he dodges the boulder, rather. Yeah, 2-for-1's not worth it. 2-for-2 across the map. It looks like, well, Crunch takes your inhibitor. Someone has to answer the Crunch. You have a split pusher. You can't ignore him. I don't know why you're doing this. You're going to die here, it looks like. Oh, God, you are so lucky. I'm pretty sure. I don't even want to review the crunch, honestly. I don't want to take too much time out of it. But good Requiem. That's such... If he had, like, maybe another item or even a component, I'm pretty sure you die there. Like, 99% sure. Yeah. One has to stay left. Whoever can fight the crunch stays left. All there is to it. It can't be Dekker, correct?
I got it. I cleared it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. The support should not be the one answering this. At all. We got a little skirmish here while setting up vision for mini, or not mini, orb rather, because we're at 21 minutes. Good. Ward inside jungle, warding that entrance on the stairs. I love it. Feng Mao is fighting Crunch in the left lane. So it's effectively a 4v4. If they get a pick, they can get it, but they're out of position here. You can actually collapse on this. Yep. Not... That's so bad. Dekker, your only job, you have a Silentium, which wasn't up yet, I guess, and you're stunned. You have to stop the Richter from pulling Gideon out of his ulti. Gideon, you have to ult higher. You have to shoot up a little bit higher at a steeper angle to then get a better ulti off to make it harder for them to pull you out of it, right? The harder you are to hit, the better, or the more they have to waste to hit you. Dekker, you have to stun Richter. You have to hit him. Like, I know they also have the Boulder, they got Rampage ulting. Like, it's not the only problem. It still takes one problem out of the equation. You have to be in the habit of doing that. You have to CC the CC, right? And also, the call was good, in my opinion, but no one was in place. Go in right now. Well, they can't go in right now because you can get there ahead of them. They weren't quite in position. If you wait another second or two, I think this goes a lot better. Bit disjointed, but yeah, no, good idea. Good ideas are a good start. Okay, so he's aiming for the Rampage Rock. That's fair. That's fair. I will give him that. There's a lot he's got to CC here, so he can only do so much. I didn't realize he was aiming only for the Rampage. I thought he was actually aiming, or just didn't do it in time. So I'll take that back. Bad comment, bad advice from me. Well, bad in the moment. Good advice overall. Working on his Dynamo. Good. Once you get Dynamo, you're pretty strong too, as Dekker. Blink. Good. It's a 5-minute. I actually want to see you guys type in the chat. Mid blink. Or mid B, mid blink, whatever you want, mid BL, whatever you want to give the acronym. And then put the time it comes back up. So mid blink 28:10, I think is what it would be. But something that is really good, putting cooldowns in the chat. I think Faye just dies here. She really should. They get Fang too, 3-1 in Fang. Normally that would be Primal after this last patch, but again, we're right before the turn of the patch. Enemy team did kill Orb there, so they traded out. That's awesome. If you know one team is going, you're at the enemy team's going for an objective, trade it with the other objective. Especially if you can melt it with a Drongo and a Crunch and a Rampage to tank. The enemy team can just absolutely decimate that Orb Prime. That is a beautiful trade from the side of TF. Yeah, the map size does feel a little bit small, but for those of you who played Paragon, I'm sure we all remember Agora. That was far too fucking big. I think someone told me that it was Domo told me that the map for Agora in the original Paragon was the biggest ever released for any MOBA online. So, yeah. Map size is something to be curious about in the future. Warded, place that to counter, take the ward. Great, love it. Good vision. Good not committing, stepping forward, by the way. You don't know who the rest of his team is. You know where Drongo is. You don't know where anyone else is. So good job stepping back and going, alright, he's going to place the ward. I'll clear it in a moment. I don't know what Richter's... I guess Richter's trying to get vision for picks. There's no objective up right now. He should be in lane pushing this. I think committing super deep into the jungle and wasting your buff timer is not the best. Not the worst. He's definitely trying to place vision and get like information. So nothing against Corpse here. Just as a general, you want to make the most out of your buffs, especially Orb Prime, especially Primal now that we have the next this new patch. Good stun, preemptive rock, good boulder to the face. Gonna cage defensively, I love it. Yeah, good defensive play. Good job. Good call. Nothing to fight for. Sit back. Hopefully you guys can hear the in-game audio, the in-game comms. Good. Yeah, there needs to be an IGO. The comms are a little disconjointed, but not bad. Boulder out. Stunned. He's going to get pulled, I think. Stunned out. I love it. He dies here, though. Gideon ulti gets a kill for it, though. Kills Richter. Good. That's a fucking great fight. No, he used all he had. Faye in the back on top of Gideon. And they get a little split there. Excuse me. It's definitely it's 3 for 2, though. I like it a lot. 3 for 2 is definitely worth it. You get both jungles and a mid laner for the AD carry and support. That's awesome. I like it. Now they've got to try and push this with the last 2 buffs. You can't clear this on your own, unfortunately, as Dekker. You don't have enough damage. You have to burn ulti for it. Cages him in. Although, Faye did a good job of tanking tower aggro, so Crunch didn't die. Jack, you're bad. Moving on. I'm just fucking around. Good. Dynamo's up. Good call to back for Dynamo. With a team fight coming up here with an ensuing Fangtooth. So that's going to be awesome. See what he goes next. I want to see Tainted. I think Tainted's better right now in terms of just utility. No, he left for 350 gold. 350 gold's enough to get 1 component, and that amount of stats is going to be useful no matter what. Any amount of stats is better. It's happened. You don't have to wait too long for it. Stay the extra half a second, grab the item, and then leave. As you load into a game, by the way, especially my competitive and more high MMR players, you absolutely need to know your build before you go into the game. You can adjust. You can change it as you go as need arises, depending on what the enemy team does. But you should have your 3 core items, and then you should know the 2 that you're going to go after that preemptively. If you don't, you have this indecision where you miss out on a couple of things, right? And MOBAs are games of small leads. You want every small advantage to accumulate into a big one. Ooh, got a stun. Got his blink. Awesome. I love it. Got his ulti. He's going to pull him there. Oh, buddy, I think he has True Silver now, actually. So he dies. That's awesome. This is super well done. Setting up and collapsing. Great collapses. Definitely improving. A little too aggressive of a ward. Faye in the back. Misses stun. Help Gideon get out. I love the calls. Literally go... I forgot that call was thing. Literally just go towards base. He is so fucking fed up. This is so funny. That's good. Good call to disengage. I love it. We don't need to fight here. Just back up. It's fine. Leave. We're good. Awesome. Oh, that's so funny. Just literally go towards base. My boy's fed up. Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see... I don't think braces are bad. Scepter, yes. Alright, cool. He's going Tainted Scepter. You don't want to go Tainted Totem here. It's not quite the same. In fact, I can even pull it up for you guys here. So if we go... I'm going to pause before we get into this next sequence. Tainted Scepter. I'm going to pull it up on the screen for you guys. Right here off to the side. 3100, 60 magical power, 200 health, 20 ability haste. Blighted spells. Dealing magic damage to an enemy target reduces their healing by 40% for 30 seconds. Malice. Every second, gain a stack of Malice up to a maximum of 15. Damaging an enemy hero with an ability. Consumes Malice to deal 5 plus 1% magical power, true damage per stack. So it's true damage on your poke. Takedowns grant maximum stacks of Malice instantly. So great team fighting item. When we go to Totem, though, nearby enemy heroes have their healing reduced and are slowed. Nearby allies receive 15% increased healing and shielding. This is better for heroes who are in the middle of a skirmish, who are in the middle of the front line, the middle of the fight, right? Your Richters, your Steels, even Muriel, because it gives you that bonus healing and shielding. And with your ulti, you're going to end up in the middle of them anyway. So I love the Scepter over that. So for those of you who are wondering about that, that's why he's doing this. I hope that's why he's doing this. Maybe I over-explained it. Maybe he's not thinking about that. I don't know. I think they kill her too. He dies here to Boulder. Oh no, missed. Yeah, she moves. Oh, she has movement speed buff. That's awful. Gray buff is so good. I love it. Good clear communication, good retreat, good listening. That's the other thing. If you give comms and no one listens, the comms aren't the good comms, good calls, just not it doesn't matter. So good communication. Love this. Gotta share the goal. We're at 30 minutes, yeah. Good. I like they recognize this is a mistake. I love the hey, we can't do this. We're kind of baiting ourselves into this fight. We're not in a position to fight this. All right, one shot the Fae. It's fine. It's 44. Take it 44 if you want. Blinked out. It looks like from the. They're actually just moving to collapse. So let's see what they do. I'm pretty sure they go harass. They get the Fae. So you have a map advantage. You got to answer the left inhib. Fang's gonna take that, then probably rotate over. They actually know they're not taking it, which is an interesting call from TF. I think if TF recognizes that Faye's dead, they go and force Orb Prime because they have a numbers advantage. They see that they'll have the positioning on it. They'll then see everyone else who, when they pop up on the map. I think you can soft commit, meaning you go in, start it, but maybe back out if you need to. Soft commit to it, and then go from there. Good ulti. Oh, that's such a good high ulti. Thank you. Yeah, that's much better ulti. Stun the Rampage, but we're not committing. I think both Rampages burned ulti there. I think they're just going to start it. Good, they're calling to bait it. So they won't even soft commit. They'll just bait it. They're going to force them to come to help. Good call. This is great. You're beautiful. Dodges that. Gathering information here as the Dekker is so good. You already have 4-on-1. You don't need there as a 5th. Sitting here and go, oh, they're coming. All right, they're coming through river. Great information. I love this. Useless cage, it looks like, because I don't think they're following you anymore. Good. Now you turn. If they're on orb, they're trolling. I think they are. Oh, beautiful stun chain CC. That's so pretty. You bounce, you get the boulder. That is so clean. It is. From what I've seen, this is such a good game. And for those of you watching, I do want you to understand something. I'm being maybe a little harsh at times, but Jack, or Riley, I keep calling him Jack. His name's Jack on Discord. Jack messaged me saying, hey, can you review this for us and help us get better, right? You're not going to get better if I say, oh, everything's so good and perfect. No, I'm trying to pick things apart. I don't think anyone in this game is terrible. It could be a bad game, it could be whatever, but mistakes are made every game anyway, so always review. Always, always, always review. Or have me do it. Or don't, up to you. So we're kind of in the end game, right? So, excuse me, guys. we're in the end game here, so we have to kind of want to evaluate what the teams are good at doing. Both teams are pretty much a team fight comp. They're so looking to skirmish, and you have an objective here. So the winning team is gonna be the one that sets up vision first. Remember, about 30 to 45 seconds ahead, a minute if needed. Depends on where the meta goes. Set up a vision, get positioning on an objective, right? Dekker's not the only one with wards. Everyone else should be warding as well. Scanning, ward, Rampage should be sweeping with Sentry. Like, spending all these resources here and pooling this way is good. I think they should set waves a little bit more. Actually, but I don't know if Feng just shoved a wave or was... I don't know what he's doing right now. I think he's setting the wave. But, basically make sure you're getting the most of it. Because you're going to get 5 Fangtooth. That's such a good buff. It's interesting because usually games between two competitive teams go 25 minutes, not 33. So it's usually not 6 to 5 things in a game. It's very fun to see. At least reviewing, not playing. I hate being in this position. I'm of the opinion if you didn't win by 35 minutes, you didn't play well enough. Like, I would consider it personally speaking, just not a clean victory. Right? Winning by 25 minutes, I think, is a pretty clean victory, and I think if you win before that, the enemy team is bad. That's how that goes. Stun, good collapse. See, that's where that vision comes in. He's got ward, they got vision, they can see him. They burn his blink. I think they chase a little too hard, but I don't think they get punished. Yeah, enemy team's not in a position to get punished. They just incinerate the Fangtooth. Pretty sure Sparrow was in the pit, just taking it anyway. They're gonna back, catch Drongo, catch Crunch here. Good. Crunch recognizes he's got to leave. Misses stun. So sad. But they say they're inhibs. So now they have a little bit longer on their orb. They've got 5 Fangtooth. Fangteeth? I think it's the official term. They told us. Fangteeth. Not bad, though. Oh, that was such a close stun. Holy shit. They definitely chases a little too hard. I don't know. I don't think you need to go this hard for him. I don't think he's that important. You have someone else coming, though. Good lob. Stun. There we go. Stun. Gideon, you troll. You should have waited till the second. You can't start your Gideon channel at the tail end of CC, because then that happens. It's just not good. Good look, though. Little too hard to commit. You're wasting your buff a little bit. Push the other waves. Feng Mao is doing great, putting pressure in the right lane. That's awesome. I think Feng Mao did a really good job this game, actually. Take the fucking green buff. Thank you. Don't diddle around, please. You're at 35 minutes. We're at the time that point in this game, especially in higher MMR, the next team fight decides everything. Just push the mid wave. I like the ward. Maybe ward a little bit deeper if you're going to really commit to it, or ward off to the side of 5 camp. There's already a ward there. Double warded. Double safe. Yep, good. 17 on Prime, good call. They're rotating over. This is good. They're responding really well. I actually really like this. No one in jungle, good call. Good scouting. They're playing this very methodically. And again, as much as I would want to be done by 35 minutes, it's good that they're taking their time. Finishes tainted. Again, you're leaving with 375. Grab at least a tome or a mana crystal, anything. Right? You can, if you go in hexbound, I would go time warp actually as the final item here. Your late game cycling of abilities are gonna be great for that if you get to it. Good dewarding, love it. Clear wards, Crunch out of position. I don't think Crunch dies here though. He kind of has a nice getaway with his ulti, his dash and ulti. So. Oh, he just moans to himself. Oh, yes. Like, you just take that. Yeah, stun, ulti. Don't even need to ult him. Silenced. Oh, even better. Don't have to burn the ulti for it either. Orange buff. I love the call, but you don't have the wave here, right? So they retreat behind a wave or behind inhib. Thank God Fung is like, his team is so bloodthirsty, and he's just like, I want to win. Good stun. They clean house here. I mean, I understand like the hesitancy here, but you have all 5 of you. He's not out pushing you. You've already taken an inhib. He's not out pushing you for the core. I wouldn't call that a wash. I would call it good. I think you guys did well, but that's not a wash. Overall, I think this is really good gameplay. I think the team did really well. Positioning and clearing comms are going to be clear points to work on for you guys. But otherwise, after everything we went over, I think this is a really good game. And yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you guys next time. I'll try to get something other than a support gameplay too for you guys too. But supports keep coming to me, so I'm going to keep out reviewing what I can. See you guys. Have a good one.